it's really clear that we need places of peace. You know, there's so few places that we go that are dedicated to helping us have less disturbed, less stressed, less anxious, less angry minds. And so I think a place like the temple in Sarasota, you get the chance to actually develop peaceful states of mind and then kind of take that with you into your relationships and your work and your daily life.
We are going to be looking at how to transform your life, a blissful journey. So you need to check, how blissful was your journey today? So what our teacher Geshe says in How to Transform Your Life, the real source of happiness is inner peace. If our mind is peaceful, we will be happy all the time, regardless of external conditions. But if it's disturbed or troubled in any way, we will never be able to experience the real happiness and freedom from suffering that we long for.
The community at Kadampa Meditation Center Florida, it was their vision to have a temple. In 2009, we had begun a search to find a larger property, and then we started our construction at the latter end of 2010, and it was finished in June of 2011.
As I used to drive home up 301, I used to say, I wish we had a Buddhist temple. And I made that wish almost daily. And then all of a sudden I looked up and here was a temple.
Geshe Kelsang Gyatso Rinpoche intervened and said, let's have a temple in town, Sarasota, and a place where we can have a larger temple in a larger location. If it wasn't for Geshe, we wouldn't be in this beautiful temple, we wouldn't know each other, we wouldn't have these beautiful teachings, so I'm very grateful.
I remember when this temple was bought and they started building it, I helped do a lot of tile work and other little handyman things and helped get the World Peace Cafe going.
We have a main meditation room, which is really quite beautiful, and a smaller meditation room, as well as a cafe. And we have accommodations for people visiting or on retreat. Outside our temple, we have a lovely garden.
It had an interesting history. It was a Trailways bus station originally. It had been a juvenile detention. More recently, a lawyer's office. It was going to be an executive suite. Venerable Geshe was very intimately involved in the design process to try and incorporate elements of a traditional temple. Then the actual artwork, they were all gifts from the Kadampa Art Studio in the United Kingdom. So this whole team of international artists cast them in the UK, and then they were shipped to us in Sarasota. So we had been working on painting them and filling them at an art studio on Lime Street. And this one woman actually decided to follow us because she wanted to know where these statues were going. And when we arrived at the temple and we started to use a forklift to get them down and drive them through the doorways into the actual meditation room, she showed up and she said that she was in bed and she rolled over and saw this Buddhist statue going by her window. And she thought, I have to follow that statue and see where it's going. Our general spiritual director, Genla Dekyang, she did the ribbon cutting for us. And she gave a really beautiful teaching on how we were kind of opening the door to the Buddha of Compassion's Pure Land, and that through opening that temple, people would be then entering a space where they could develop pure and peaceful states of mind. And she said that the ribbon symbolized our obstacles, and that once the ribbon was cut, we could consider ourselves to be free of obstacles.
KMC Florida is like a purifying crystal. It removes, that you could put in water and it removes the negativity or the impurities out of the water, makes it something healing.
The KMC Florida Sangha are very special and they made a great impression upon me. I would characterize them as having a really deep enthusiasm and love for their spiritual practice. And they're also all really amazing examples of what it means to be a modern Kadampa Buddhist practitioner. They're very kind and genuine and caring.
Hey, you! How are you doing? 2 weeks in a row. What does that say? I know, because today I was like, I was like, you need to go. I got so many benefits last week.
Volunteering here has made a huge impact on my life. Working alongside other practitioners has helped develop my Dharma practice. We talk about applying it to our everyday life, and I get to hear other people's stories, and I get to see how they implement the Dharma teachings into their daily life, which helps me because I get a variety of different ideas and feedback.
But that's the same story of Buddha. You've emanated. Yeah. Well, hi, Buddha.
Our community is just a joy, not just a joy, but it's just truly part of my refuge. That's where I come to protect myself from all the negativity that is around us every day.
I remember once teaching a class on how Buddha taught we can attain enlightenment in one human life. And at that point, someone in the audience went, woohoo! And I just personally loved that pure enthusiasm.
I feel very fortunate to live someplace where people.
I've been coming here to KMC Florida for about 8 years now, and meeting Buddhist teachings and being able to take the teachings into my heart, particularly the ones on cherishing others, has really made a very big impact on my relationships and my interactions with others.
This is one of the most important places that I could come to in my day. Connecting with just an amazing group of people, a community of people that want to help others, want to help themselves, and just find more peace and happiness in their everyday life.
So I came to Kadampa Meditation Center Florida in November 2020. And at that time, all the teachings were online. So during those challenging, unusual times, people were able to access the teachings that they need to deal with difficult circumstances in their life.
We may not be perfect yet, we may not be a Buddha yet, but if you have confidence that it is possible someday, through purifying my mind, I myself will actually be happy. I'll be a happy person.
We can use each moment to produce happiness and well-being through engaging in spiritual practices. Every living being has two basic wishes: to be happy all the time and to be free from difficulties and suffering. Whether it's online or in person, you will have access to extraordinary teachings and meditations. Please come join us. Everyone is welcome. We can all hold this vision in our hearts to bring about peace, well-being for ourselves, for our family, and ultimately for the world.